This week we continue to explore the four primary spiritual types: heart, soul, mind, and strength. Last week we explored soul-based spirituality and its yearning to connect with God's love through relationship. Now we move on to mind-based spirituality. The mind-based person has a more intellectualized spirituality that, like soul-based spirituality, is a really internalized form of the faith. For the mind-based person, spirituality is about understanding and communicating what is true, largely through written and spoken word. For many of us, mind-based spirituality is the most familiar form of the four types. It is a form of spirituality that engages our relationship with God and others through our intellect. Most forms of worship you will find in a typical church are based in mind spirituality. We read scripture and prayers together. A preacher uses words, theology, and doctrine to explain scripture to us. We contemplate the words of the song as we sing them, and we seek to live our lives according to the commandments of the Bible and the teachings of the church. All of these are concerns of mind-based people who find fulfillment in fields such as law, education, the sciences, and writing. They prefer clear lines of structure and authority. They will likely be less fulfilled in jobs that do not have clear guidelines and outcomes. So as you can tell, much of what we consider religion is born out of mind-based spirituality. It has been ever since the Protestant Reformation of the 16th century and the Age of Enlightenment of the centuries that proceeded after that. And we will continue to receive these gifts as long as our pastors and lay leaders are trained by academic institutions. As you might imagine, many professors and teachers are mind-based spiritual types, and their gifts to us have been foundational in our lives. New discoveries and new ideas that change the world often come from healthy and balanced mind-based types. They can foster their growth as individuals by doing things that get them out of their head for a while and put them out into the world, which is the gift of their polar opposite, the heart-based spiritual type. Mind-based people have many spiritual practices at their disposal, including reading the Bible, journaling, and Lectio Divina. This week we will explore a practice that is perhaps not as familiar to some. It is called Ignatian contemplation, which is a way of engaging with Scripture that imaginatively places ourselves in the biblical story. The gift of this practice is that it can open us up to deeper levels of engagement and understanding of what is being taught by the story's writer. Links to resources and an introductory video by Father James Martin can be found in the Go Farther section on the Following the Way website. The risk for mind-based spiritual types is that they can become so bound by rules and regulations, both those of the world and those of their own making, that they lack the freedom to fully live into all the messiness of life. They need to give themselves permission to bend or even break their own rules from time to time in order to allow room for contradiction and creativity, which are necessary elements for living a balanced and full life. So spiritual maturity for a mind-based person looks like someone who can both appreciate and adhere to rules and laws, and at the same time know that there is a transcendent truth that goes beyond all of this, and that ultimately relationships and practicalities do not always fit inside our neat little boxes. So there it is, mind-based spirituality. Next week we will explore the final of the four types, the strength-based spiritual type, and how they connect to loving God through physical activities and expression. Until then, try out the mind-based spiritual practices resourced for you on the Following the Way website.